Hi, Lisa the educator here. So bear with me today. My video is going to be a little bit lengthy. This is for teachers who are in the basic education level, primary school or the elementary school level, whichever way you want to put it. This is for you. So there are some things I need to outline here for teachers to understand that child you see is behaving annoyingly or dull in your class. It's not because the child is dull. The child is just having one or two problems you need to look out for and help the child manage it and overcome over time. So number one is you have a child who often misspells words. When I mean misspell, they spell, for example, B-R-E-A-D, bread, for B-R-A-E-D or B-E-A-R-D. And when you ask, what is this? The child tells you, it's bread. And you're like, you don't know anything, you are dull. Well, that child is not actually dull. The way the child's brain processed that word, bread, is different from the way a normal person will process words. The child is just exhibiting a symptom that you need to look out for. And another thing is they often misplace similar letters. They put the P for B or the B for the D, P for Q, small letter P for small letter Q, and they often mix these words up or these letters up. It's because their brain is having a problem assimilating and analyzing these words. Because the issue is this: their brain structure is not structured the way a normal person's brain is structured. What I mean, there is the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. And the left hemisphere of the brain thinks in past and in the future. Functionality of the left hemisphere of the brain is spoken and written language, sequencing word analysis, filling forms, numbering, letters, analytical, and logical and abstract function, because this function helps you to think in the past and in the future. And in a dyslexic person, that left part of the brain for this function is short-circuited, if I can put it that way. It doesn't function normally like a normal person, like what a normal person would do, because their brain relies heavily more on the right hemisphere than the left hemisphere. And what will take a normal person a millisecond to understand, it can take them 45 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, even a minute to understand. And that's why they are having this difficulty keeping up in class, keeping up with subjects and topics. And most times, what many teachers do is when they find a child who has this problem in their class, they often bring them out in front of the class to read a passage or to spell a word for the class. And when they are not able to do that, they ask the class to shame them and to, laugh at them, thinking that's a way that will help them. No, it's not helping the child. Actually, you are even making the child worse than they are, because that child is obviously having a problem that you are not understanding. And as a teacher who is laden with the burden of helping them academically, you have to be observant and understand that children like this, they can exhibit such characters in your class. Another thing is, for your student, they take minutes to read a paragraph. It's not because they want to, it's just because that part of the brain, the left hemisphere of the brain, is not functioning the way it's supposed to. Because there are some things in the brain that are called the neural pathways, white matters. These are neural pathways that keep the functionalities of the brain interconnected, actually. And in a dyslexic person, this is short. If you do a scan on a dyslexic person's brain, you will see that those neural pathways are either blocked or underdeveloped. And that's why they are having issues and problems assimilating like a normal person would. And most times when they cannot function that way, and people begin to stigmatize them and treat them for that disability or disorder that they have, they become erratic, they become angry, and they start becoming disruptive in class. They start becoming dreamy, and they no longer pay attention in class. That is their own way of showing you that I have a problem, but you are not listening. I am not saying that all children can be like that. There are some people who are naturally lazy. So dyslexia is not associated with intelligence. A dyslexic person can be very intelligent. An example of such is the founder of IKEA, Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA. If you go to their website or you go to their shopping store online, you see the way they, categorize their furniture. It's one of the biggest furniture making company in the world, or in America right now. And the founder, Kamprad, was dyslexic. And due to his dyslexic ability and his inability to spell words normally, he employed it into, labeling his products. That's why they have an unusual way of labeling their products on IKEA. There are a lot of people who are dyslexic, and yet they have become world changers and great people in the world. For example, Albert Einstein, he was dyslexic. Picasso was dyslexic. These are a little but few people who are dyslexic. Steve Jobs of iPhone, the creator of iPhone, is dyslexic. That's why he created Siri, so that he will not go through the hassle of writing. He just gives a series of commands to Siri, and Siri carries out that command. He's intelligent, but he's dyslexic. So you see that dyslexia does not have to do with intelligence. So if you have a child who is exhibiting these little one or two problems in your class, be patient with them. Treat them with love, treat them with respect, and help them manage that situation. Because telling them they are dull is you telling them that they mean nothing to the world. Dyslexic people are valuable to the world and to the society at large, because these are change makers, because these people are creative. So as a teacher, look out for other ways that you can pass the information, the academic information, to them, because there are a lot of people who are dyslexic who are good in arts, who are good in music and other creative ways. So you can go through that creative route that they have in communicating academics to them. So I hope you learned one or two things, and you would, have a change of heart and tell yourself, I will help these kids become better. Because no child is dull, actually. We just have to find their superpowers. I am Lisa. I just brought you this information. Have a wonderful week. Bye.